So when it comes to selling finance suites, we've sold thousands and thousands of finance suites through our partner network. So we have a really good idea of exactly what it takes during the presentation to set yourself up with the most success of closing the sale. So executing a proper presentation, really where you provide info on features and benefits, is essential. So here's the difference. A feature is something like the fact that the finance suite offers access to experienced smart business data. The benefit of that feature is that the customer can get information about how many trade lines they have to continue building their business credit without paying credit monitoring costs. So that's the feature and benefit, the difference between the two. A feature is kind of what the suite does. A feature is the fact that the suite has more vendor sources than anywhere else. The benefit of that is that the customer has more of a selection to find vendors they really want to have to build their business credit. So the presentation is really about showing the features and the benefits of the finance suite to the customer. But it's even more essential that you link the benefits to the customer's wants and needs. And this is where really the interview and presentation tie in together very well. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're dealing with a truck driver, and when during the interview you're finding out that part of the problem he's having is filling his gas tank because it cost him $500 or more every time he needs to go to the pump, and he's using his personal credit to do that. Well, this makes it much easier when you're doing a demo of the finance suite to show him all of the gas cards that are available and say, hey, remember during the interview we were talking about how much of a problem you had paying those high gas bills on your personal credit? And he goes, oh yeah, that was killing me. Well, look, here's 9 gas cards you can get. Wouldn't it help you if you had a BP, a Chevron, a Sunoco gas card? Are these the type of gas stations you go to? And they goes, yeah, I go to these gas stations all the time. Well, can you imagine having 500, 2,000, 3, $4,000 limit credit cards at all these gas stations? That is linking the benefit of the suite, the fact that there's gas cards that they can use to get gas, to them individually, to their individual needs. Maybe you're dealing with somebody in the construction industry and you get to the Home Depot and Lowe's credit and you say, hey, look, do you shop at Home Depots and Lowe's? You said buying your supplies and the things you need to do your jobs was one of the most expensive parts of what you do, right? Yes. Well, look, wouldn't it help you to have Home Depot, and wouldn't it help you to have Lowe's credit cards with high limits in your business name that aren't linked to your personal credit? That's linking the actual benefits of the suite to them. So you need to do a proper interview to know what their pain points are, where they're struggling, and then really it's about, the presentation's about showing them that the finance suite is the solution to that problem, that's what will relieve their pain. And that's the easiest way to explain it, is really the interview is the diagnosis part. It's the part where you go to the doctor and get the diagnosis. Here's my symptoms, here's my signs, here's where I'm suffering, here's where I'm experiencing pain, here's my problem. The presentation is all about you providing the solution, the medicine that fixes the problem. It's where you're coming in and showing them that the finance suite can be the solution to those problems. It can be the what makes that pain go away. So that's what a successful presentation really is. You go through the interview to dig out the pain points, the problems, and then the presentation is all about showing them that the finance suite is the answer to solve those problems. So they've got to recognize there's a problem first. That's really important during that interview. Then during the presentation, accept the fact that the finance suite is the best solution to solve that problem. Okay, presentations can be done 2 ways, really depending on what your actual style is. Now, the first is kind of a longer demo presentation where you actually show the finance suite and walk them through step by step. This has always been what I personally have most highly recommended, because when I've sold the finance suite, and where I see a lot of people struggle, is that they try to tell customers about what the finance suite will do. The customer tries to, since most of us are visual people, the customer or prospect tries to visualize what you're talking about, but they can't really clearly get a clear vision because the finance suite's unlike anything else that exists in the world today. So what we have is so unique that somebody can't really get a visual representation of it, so they spend a lot of time trying to visualize what you're talking about, and it's difficult if they can't see it. So for this reason, I've always recommended that you do a live demo with them. You either sit down knee to knee, face to face, and show them the finance suite, or you use something like a service called join.me, join, Join.me, join me, to do screen sharing where they could see your screen and you could do a presentation virtually with them. This is one of the best methods that we've seen. You have the ability to actually close because they can physically see what they're getting before they buy. Now, in this type of presentation, you're showing them the suite, you're showing them the benefits, you're showing them the steps, linking again, as we talked about, their wants and needs while showing them that this is a solution to the problems you dug out in the interview. They see what they're buying, so there's just no confusion. They clearly understand what they're getting before they buy. This is perfect for most people because they, again, as I said, most people are visual people, so seeing what they're going to buy makes a big difference. And I remember we had a partner that, like, he brought in like 3, 4, 5 clients, and every one of the clients had a problem because they didn't know what they were buying. He never took the time to show them what they were buying, so they really clearly didn't understand it when they came in. And we saw this early on when we started selling the finance suite, is a lot of customers came in and they were just confused at what they bought because they didn't physically see it to fully understand. So a live demo really gives the customer the most amount of information that they're going to want and need. It shows them what they're buying. It removes any confusion. You really get a chance to walk through and use the step-by-step of the finance suite to walk them through step-by-step, to show them the process, to show them what they get, to show them how, streamlined the system is and how it's done through video and how the steps are easy to navigate and go through. They get all of that during the actual presentation, so it's very powerful. Now, there is another type of presentation that we've also found works, and these are shorter presentations, just kind of have you recognizing their actual needs. So what happens is you're doing the interview, you're finding out what the problem is, what their pain points are, then you're basically explaining to them, hopefully in a shorter type of script, exactly what the finance suite will do to solve those problems. You're saying, hey, look, hey, if we could get you, this much money, what would this help do for you? Here's how the finance suite can help you solve that problem. Okay, then you quickly go in for a close. So this isn't a long drawn out demo walkthrough presentation. This is more of a shorter interview. You're coming in, then you're relating the actual benefits of the finance suite to them, and then you're going to them to actually close. Now, scripts are provided so you can actually use as an example in this step. So for example, one of the guys on our team, Pete Woodworth, Pete has sold more business credit on the retail side than anybody I've ever met. Okay, he's actually been around for 7, 8 years selling business credit directly to consumers. It's one of the reasons we brought him into our team to help you learn how to do the same thing. His approach is very short, very sweet, very short scripts he uses, and again, he often gets results and gets the deal closed on a shorter type of approach. So we're going to provide a little bit of information like that he has suggested that he uses to kind of use as an example, as well as I'll probably even include some resources so you have information about, you can actually kind of get a feel for kind of what he recommends and how he does it. Now keep in mind, he uses an approach with a $50,000 guarantee that might not be the best approach for you. Remember, when a lot of customers hear about this $50,000 guarantee, they instantly think they're coming in and getting a $50,000 credit line. You can't do that. You have to be responsible if you throw that out there to a customer. But he does have some good advice when it comes to a shorter type of close versus a full-blown presentation. Now again, since most people are visual people, then usually they won't be as effective as a demo. Okay, usually a short-term presentation is never going to be as effective as a demo. Okay, and look, that's the problem, right? Is that we all want to take the shortest path possible. So if you have the option between a longer drawn out demo presentation and a shorter in and out close, you're probably going to try to go with the shorter in and out close. But here's my experience. The people that succeed with this the most are people that are used to doing it. It's call center type environments. It's call centers where they're used to churn and burn. They're used to live transfers coming in and taking 10, 15 minutes on one call to try to get to get the sale closed. So if you're dealing with more relationship type stuff where you're meeting people at networking events and affiliates, those are probably people you're going to want to do more of a walkthrough demo type of presentation. But if you're working in more of a call center environment where you're churn and burn, bringing in a large volume, going through them, well then the shorter type presentation might work. If you're going to ask which is the most effective, hands down, without a doubt, the longer walkthrough demo presentation is the most effective way to close, hands down. But again, if you're very good at working in a call center type of environment, following a script, modifying a script, working off a script, and you're used to getting a large volume of leads, that might be the better approach. So we're going to show you both approaches because there's no wrong or right. We've got a lot of successful partners. We've got partners that have used the live demo and done very, very well. We've got others that have done the shorter approach and done it very, very well. So you're going to need to develop your own style for what works best. We're going to show you a couple different ways to go about this so you can kind of choose the best. But again, if given a choice, the longer demo walkthrough presentation will always give you, in my experience, the highest closing percentage because you're spending more time with the customer, more time explaining features, benefits. You're actually showing them what they're going to buy, and all those things combined really come down to you having the absolute highest closing ratio, which is what we'll talk about in the next step, is exactly how to close the sale.